Bro, come here. What did you just eat?
Bro, get out of the truck. You can't eat it.
Hello.
All right, welcome back to another episode of Mr. McKeon's Minute Science. So in Google Classroom, I have posted a lab called Create a Face Lab. And what you guys are gonna have to do is get a coin and a partner of some sort, maybe even a Weimaraner. But you're gonna have to flip a coin to decide different allele traits and genotypes for your future offspring or for whatever face you're gonna be creating. Your goal is to create a senior picture of somebody. We're gonna do all of ours in chalk art on the street because it's a beautiful day here after that humongous lightning storm we had last night. But we are not even gonna use a normal coin because that's not how we do things here. We're gonna use a discus just because it's a little bit more fun. We got heads and tails. I'll explain the rules here in 1 second once we get set up. We are gonna get set up here. So I have lovely assistants, my two sister-in-laws, and I'm sure more people who will be walking out of the house. It is quite the busy place. What we're gonna do is we're gonna do the first flip to determine the sex. Rogue's gonna get run over by a car. Determine the sex of our child, or the sex of our little offspring. So we are going to flip our coin. Only the male or only the male partner in this experiment does the first flip. You only do one flip. For the sex of the face that we're gonna be creating, heads will be a boy and tails will be a girl. First flip. It's gonna be a girl. Time to create a face. You have to name our character, Gianna, in 30 seconds. Pick 3 names.
3 names?
3 names, we'll decide, we'll deduct.
Girl.
It's a girl. Carol.
Ashley. Carol.
Ashley and Carol. Okay, we'll use the sister's name.
Carol, give me a good one. Michaela.
No.
No, she's gonna...
Rogue could have come up with better solutions than that. We will go with, what was the first one you said?
Ashley.
We'll go with Ashley. But I want to further explain how this works again. So each of the partners, you and your dad, you and your mom, you and your sister, you and your brother, whoever it happens to be, whoever you're using, you will both represent a heterozygous person, meaning you're going to have one dominant allele and one recessive allele for every single one of the 31 traits that we're going to be looking at. Now, we're going to be flipping a coin, and for our case, it's this discus. We're going to flip the coin to decide if we're going to pass on the dominant allele or the recessive allele. If you look at each of the categories, they're all going to be different traits of the face. So the first one was face shape, whether it was rounded or squared. Because it was rounded, they used the letter R to indicate that allele. Now, when you flip, if you get a heads, you pass on the dominant allele or the uppercase R. If you get a tails, you pass on the recessive allele or the lowercase r. It's going to be like that for every single trait. Make sure it's always a flip from you and your partner because you're both going to be combining your gene pools into this offspring. We're going to do our first trait, which is going to be a round versus a square face. If I throw this as the male partner and I get a heads, that'll tell me that I have a dominant allele for face shape. I got a capital R. Gianna got a capital R. We both flipped a dominant capital H, or heads, excuse me, which will give us a big R for our total face shape, giving us a rounded face shape. So we will not have any blockhead people. Gianna will draw Ashley with a round face. That's pretty good. I really wanted to roast you for this, but that came out really nicely. So as you get to traits number 5 and 6, you're gonna notice skin color and hair color are both polygenic traits, meaning not just one allele or one gene affects the way that phenotype is represented or the way that looks. There's a lot that goes into hair, eye, and skin color that's more than just one simple Punnett square. And so the way we're gonna show this in this lab is we're gonna do multiple flips for one trait. So when we flip our coin, we're gonna do 3 series of flips. Our first series will be for the capital A or lowercase a, our second will be for capital B or lowercase b, and third, our capital C or lowercase c. Now at the end of it, you're gonna see it tells you if you have a certain amount of capitals or dominant alleles, then you're gonna have a particular hair color or eye color or skin color. Follow the directions on the lab sheet to make sure you know what you're doing, but make sure for those that have more than just one box for you to fill in, those are called polygenic traits, which means they're gonna represent more than just a single allele from each parent. Time to create a face. successfully flipped our coin all the times needed for our data sheet, and it's time for us to draw Ashley. How do you think it's gonna go? You think she's gonna be beautiful?
Oh, for sure. Everybody's beautiful.
Wow, such a nice thing to say. Our child Ashley has been completed.
Ours.
I don't know who I'm talking to. It's very strange to say it no matter what. But we have drawn our Creative Face Lab person. This is Ashley, class of 2020. Gianna, were there any hiccups along the way?
No, I don't think so. I think it went pretty smooth.
It was about as smooth as it can be. Rogue is really investigating Ashley. Let's take a little tour of Ashley, class of 2020. Most likely to not get a job. Most likely needing a nurse or a doctor for her freckles that are lime green. And her red eyelashes are certainly an eclectic choice. So we were limited on chalk colors. You will not be if you do this on a separate piece of paper. It didn't take us all that long. So really, once you get the hang of it, once you start flipping the coin and understanding which alleles to pick together, it doesn't take that long to fill out the data sheet. Then you kind of just draw up your funny version of your person and what it would look like going through all those things. Rogue, what do you think? What do you think about Ashley? Anyways, if you guys have any problems, definitely ask. Hopefully this directional video worked well so you don't get as confused and everything can work out. Thank you, Gianna. Thank you, everyone who helped. Good luck on your Creative Face Lab. See ya.